Hello everyone, welcome to another session of Zentangle Floral Treats, and this is the tile that we are going to be working on today. We already created all these watercolor backgrounds in our first session, and now we are just going to tangle over it. Yeah, so let's get started and use this nice beautiful grid to create a beautiful tile. So I'm first using my green Micron here and going to fill up some of the sections, right? Probably add the tangle allium that we have already learned. So what I'm doing is just adding some auras inside the shape like this, and then I'm going to ink the alternate auras, ink the auras in sets of 2, add some bit of drama. So I'm not going to do this for all the sections, yeah, because that's not the objective here. We want the background also to show. So going to next. So I'm just going to do that for a few, probably add something else in a few others and see how it turns out, yeah. So this tangle with repeating auras is called allium, and we have already learned it in our previous series. That is how it looks like, yeah. So I'm just going to randomly pick sections and add this tangle in a few more sections. Probably add some simple lines in a few others, something like this. Yeah, so we'll use a mix. So this tangle is something like a tangle called leaflet. Not exactly, but yes, something like that. Again, going to add this double line stem and add these stems coming out. Slowly, take your time. Add a slight curve. Like this, yeah. Again, going to add one or two more. So I've added those nice leaf-like veins in some of the sections, and now I'm going back to drawing my allium. Added auras inside one of the beautiful shape that is formed by this grid. Inking the auras using my green pen. I think it gels with the background. You can also use a mix of orange and green. At times use orange, and some of the sections use green. Even that can be done. Yeah, so let's add one here. Take your time. Add nice close auras. And then ink. Yeah. So we are not going to do that for all the sections. I'm going to keep some empty. So ink slowly, take your time, don't haste up. Yeah, so that's how it looks like. Let's add one here. So this is basically a second layer that we are adding. Yeah. So I'm still in the process of inking, doing the last one here. I don't intend to add more. I think this much is enough. So we have just added some highlights to our background. So some of its sections pop up. Yeah. So I'm now going to pick up my black pen. So you can use your Micron O1 or you can use a bolder nib. I would be using an O8 and I'm just going to draw a vertigo over my tile. Yeah. Now if you want, you can use your pencil for reference and just mark. I'm just going to move something like this, yeah, over my tile, or you can add something like this. Let's see. So I'm first going to add the center stem like this. So it would be nice to use a bolder nib since we have also some inked portions in the background. So using a black bolder nib would be a nice idea. And now I'm just going to add the tangle vertigo but with some pointed ends. Generally vertigo does not have pointed ends. So I'm just ignoring my background and starting to draw my vertigo. Drawing as I feel like, not thinking much where, what. Yeah, so I have drawn the first layer. Now I'm going to add the second layer, mostly intersecting, drawing behind the first one. Draw as many as you wish. So as I draw the second layer, I am intersecting or drawing behind the first one at a number of places. Adding the second layer. Take your time. You can place the way you wish to. I'm not thinking much as I draw. I'm just going with the spaces that I have. Yeah. So I used a bolder nib here so that my vertigo is prominent over the already tangled background, a colored background. Yeah. So going to the other side now. Drawing behind. Take your time. Go with the flow, go with the spaces that you have. Don't think much where, what. Just going with wherever I feel like, wherever I can find places. So this is basically the third layer that we are adding. And we are almost done. Yeah, so now you can review. If you want to add some more, you can at a few places. Draw behind as much as you can. It looks nice, adds to the look of this tangle very much. Yeah, so I think we are more or less done drawing over our tangle background in green. So once we are done with that, so I now have my Gellyroll 08 with me, and I'm now going to use it at places where I see too much happening inside. Yeah, for example, these places. I'm just going to blur the background a little. Yeah, if you can outline, nothing like it. But since the spaces are small, I'm just going to blur the background. Yeah, not for all, where I feel the need to. So you have to be patient here. Go to each and see where the allium is. Just blur the background a little bit. Had the places being a little more, we would have outlined and created a transcending kind of an effect. But spaces are pretty small here, so I'm not going to outline. Instead, I'm just adding some jelly, some white ink there, and blurring the background. Yeah. So slowly take your time, do that exercise wherever required. This may take a little bit of time. But I think we are more or less done. Yeah. Now let us move on to shading. So we will start with shading our vertigo only, and these places we will just add a slight touch, probably not too much. I'm just touching the edges with a very light hand. Something like this. I want the greens to show. So I'm just adding on one side, probably again, shading is a matter of your personal choice. How do you want to go about? I'm just picking off half of the space. Adding a bit of shade there. I'm not adding much graphite, I'm just using what is there on my stub. Right, so it's nice to add a layer there. Yeah, I think that's about it. Don't need to do much. Allium I'm not going to touch. Let's now move on to our vertigo. So I'm going to add some graphite on one side of the stem. Like this, and then just blend it. It's very simple to shade your vertigo, you don't have to do much. Just added a little prominence to the stem on one side. Yeah, now if you want, you can use your O1 and add what is generally a part of vertigo, the black pearls. So I'm going to add some inside wherever I can find those spaces. It gels very well with the tangle, adds to the look of the tangle. If you want, you can touch those places where you have added Gellyroll. So take your time, you can add as many as you wish to. It really adds to the look of this tangle. Small ones, big ones. As many as you want. Yeah, so you can just touch your Gellyroll at places where you want a little more. So that's entirely up to you where. Again, I'm going to add here. I'm also going to touch my Gellyroll inside here. Yeah. So just go with the flow. Do as you feel like. Wherever you feel like blurring the background a little, you can do that. I also feel like touching the Gellyroll on the stem. At a few places. Yeah, like this. Good idea to touch the black pearls with the Gellyroll. Just highlight the dot with white. If it is not absolutely white, good idea to do that. Yeah. So just a few more. I have so many pens here, I am now getting confused. Yeah. A little weight to the stem. That's about it. Yeah. So that's our tile for today. You can extend it as much as you want. You can add some more shades to places where you have not added. So just touching few places. So I think we have done it for all. You can add a little to the alliums also, but I'm not going to do anything. For example, some white dots or something like that. Yeah. Make sure you have inked it well. That's about it. I'm going to be closing my tile here. Yeah. So let's put in our chalk. Sign and date your tile. So I shall see you again with another new watercolor background, some new tangles. Till then, have a good time. Bye-bye.